Lost Eidolons by Ocean Drive Studio is a tactical turn-based strategy role-playing game where you play Eden, a mercenary captain in a small town at the corner of a crumbling empire, who is swept up in events causing both a meteoric rise and personal tragedy. Lost Eidolons is structured around alternating 27 battle stages and camp stages with the ability to play in optional battles periodically. The game is very dense in decisions on the strategic and tactical level, with plenty of interesting and ambiguous decisions about what characters to include in your party, which class to use with them, which weapons to train them with, which abilities you want to equip, which gear to equip, and even which other character to equip to the character you are using in tactical situations. The game's tactical and gameplay structure is reminiscent of Fire Emblem in general and Fire Emblem Three Houses in particular. It features alternating turns between the player and the opponent's units, with an extra phase using for allied units. What a character can do on their turn depends on a wide variety of factors, with gear, class, and equipped abilities all contributing, but with rare exceptions, all characters are limited to a single move and a single action per turn. Characters starts off with one of two classes, neither of which has any mechanical impact, but further specialize as time goes on until you achieve a degree of maximum specialization once characters hit around level 30. Even with these more specialized classes, you have some flexibility in how you build them, and it is possible for characters to mix and match abilities from various characters, for example having a berserker with some bow skills. Additionally, each character has two final tier master classes in that they can get a character's specific ability in if they max out their class experience. These abilities remaining present regardless of the class they are in. This encourages you to try out different classes with your main team even into the end game, and ensures that even if you have two characters of the same class, they will end up with unique identities. The three different types of magicians are customized further by being able to select a subset from about 12 different spells to bring to battles. Elemental spells are mostly focused on direct damage and taking advantage of the water and forests in the environment. Dark spells are a mixture of damage and status effects, and light magic is mostly focused on healing and status removal. Characters cannot mix spell types, but some late-game classes combine physical capabilities and magic, leading to some fun decisions about what side of things you want to lean toward to truly optimize the character's role in battle. While this review will not cover every single mechanical feature of Lost Eidolons, beyond saying that they are largely well designed and clearly show that Ocean Drive Studio was thinking deeply about how to make the game, and each mechanic's place in the game, the Aide System is interesting and different enough to be worth describing. Essentially, it allows a given character to equip another one. This gives the equipping characters the aid character's specific passive ability and a second passive ability that depends on the aid character's class. The aid characters benefit from continuing to gain class, gear and level experience, helping to ensure that they don't fall too far behind. The system unlocks an explosion of build complexity in Lost Eidolons. It opens up the potential for building niche characters to use in certain situations and levels without necessarily punishing you or leaving you without the resources to build more straightforward characters. The other particular standout feature is the monster battle system. Monsters have unique capabilities that deviate from those displayed by the normal fights with other humans that share the same class system and serve as a nice change of pace from normal fights. They also are built around a combo system where if you hit them in the right spot with the right attack type, you do normal damage and build up combo damage. Still, if you don't, you do a fraction of your normal damage, with none of the weapon versus armor bonuses you will get in a normal fight. The pure monsters fights are largely fun and a nice change of pace, and the rare instances where you have to fight a mixture of monsters and human opponents are among the most interesting battles in the entire game. Frankly, I'm not normally a fan of Fire Emblem style games. I quite like having deep and expensive cardless builds with interesting decisions that continue right up to the point the game ends, and for the most part, Fire Emblem style games fail to achieve this. Lost Eidolons does. There is a great deal of ambiguity over what mixture of classes is the best, which combination of cards and aids you want to use, and which combination of gear and weapon skills you want to equip. This leads to a fun decision space that is accentuated by the fact that even the hardest difficulty won't be too difficult for tactics fans, leaving space to try out new builds and combinations while still being reasonably challenged. Outside of that space, everything else feels tight and well designed. Basically, any user interface feature I could reasonably want and expect is available. Individual units and all enemy threat ranges are easily accessible, ability descriptions are present and clear, and the game allows for common sense rewinds before an action occurs. Additionally, the game features an actual undo mechanic that lets you use up a battle resource to return to any earlier point in a battle and replay from that point. If you mess up enough, you will be forced to restart. Still, if you just make a small mistake or want to reconsider how to approach a tactical situation, you can without going through the tedium of playing through the battle exactly to that point again. This feels respectful for the player's time and is greatly appreciated. The story is serviceable. It does not match some of the games that are specifically built around storytelling, but I never really expected to. I hope that it would provide me with an effective and engaging context for the in-depth tactical battles without insulting my intelligence or making me reset the cards for their one-dimensionality or stupidity, and it succeeded in doing that. I even found interesting enough that I largely watched and listened to all of the individual character builds in most other games too dull for me to bother even sitting through. In the rare cases where I found my interest dragging or had to go through the same thing again due to a reload, the game provides easy features to skip through almost any scene. Overall, I'm quite pleased with Lost Eidolons and consider it a success. That doesn't mean it's perfect though. While the game is quite good at avoiding tedium and unfair situations, I feel that two of the game's subsystems fail in the tedium test, and one stage in particular fails the unfairness test. The first system that doesn't live up to the game's overall quality is the Prestige system. The Prestige system essentially requires you to do a campsite quests in exchange for periodically getting bonus gear or money, and even less frequent increases in the number of resources you have for your relationship building. Unfortunately, these prestige quests are inevitably dull and, unlike most camp quests, don't even show up in your quest log, forcing you to come back to the prestige quest board to find out what exact inane fetch quest you need to perform to get your reward. The second tedious system is the optional battles. While the battles for the main campaign are interesting and excellent and providing varying challenges, the optional battles are repetitive, dull, and great at providing you with the same set of 3 challenges over and over again. These optional side battles feel important from character's development, goal, and testing perspective, but Ocean Drive Studio really should have spent more time with them before release. The game also suffers a bit from its lack of use of monsters. Their presence drop off dramatically in the later part of the game, with the promise of their use in combination with regular human opponents never really paying off. I'm sure that this use was in service of the story, but from a tactical perspective I think the game would be even better if they were used more often. Lost Eidolons is a very good SRPG and one that I can highly recommend to any fan of the genre. It combines good graphic, excellent user interface, deep and engaging battles and systems, and real and interesting decisions for character builds and team compositions. While it is not perfect, the things that it does wrong are so vastly outweighed by the things that it does right that it stands out as one of the best tactical games released in a year that is already dense with good ones. Buy it, play it and enjoy it. This video ends here. Let me know what you think about Lost Eidolons in the comments below. Remember that you will find a gameplay walkthrough on my second channel, Naso RPG. You will find the link inside the description. So it's time to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting me through all my pages. Wish you the best. Ciao!